Let's review the campaign editor, including how templates, zones, and content work together inside a campaign. The campaign editor is where you fill each zone of a template with actual content. This content can include images, videos, widgets, projects, designer files, or library files. You'll also use the campaign editor to set how long each item plays. A campaign is made up of two main parts. The first part is the template. The template controls the screen layout and the size of each zone. The second part is the content list for each zone. To get started, go to Campaigns. At the top of the Campaigns page, you can search for an existing campaign. You can also switch between Grid View and List View. To create a new campaign, click Create Campaign. If you have campaign folders, they will appear here. Individual campaigns will also appear below, along with Recent Campaigns section showing campaigns you've opened recently. You can search by campaign title or by size here. Each campaign will show when it was last modified. On the right side of each campaign, you'll see several action icons. The eye icon opens the campaign in the editor so you can view or edit it. You can also duplicate a campaign. When you duplicate it, a copy is created and opened in the editor. The duplicated campaign will have the word copy at the end of the name, but you can rename it at any time. From the Campaigns page, you can also delete a campaign, move it to a folder, or rename it. Now, let's open a campaign and review the editor. One important thing to know is that zones cannot be moved or resized inside the campaign editor. If you need to change the layout, zone placement, or zone size, those changes must be made in the template editor. At the top of the campaign editor, you'll see options for Manage Tokens, which once a token is defined, you can reference it inside any widget configurator that supports token. And you update the token in one place, and every widget using it picks up update at the next refresh. Then save and update players, and preview. In the center of the page, you'll see the campaign layout with each zone from the template. On the right-hand side, you'll see the Campaign Settings panel. In Campaign Settings, you can rename the campaign. You can also view the campaign size, but the size cannot be adjusted here because it is controlled by the template. Below Campaign Settings, you'll see each zone listed. You can select a zone by clicking it in the layout, or by clicking the zone name in the right side panel. When you select a zone, its settings will open. You can add a token by clicking the tag icon, and can edit the zone name by clicking the pencil icon. Each zone has a playback mode. If you choose Sequence, the content will play in order from the list. If you choose Random, the content will play in a randomized order. To add content to a zone, use the content options inside the zone settings. You can add content from widgets, the library, projects, or designer. If you click Add Widget, you'll see a list of available widgets you can add to the campaign. Some widgets may work better in certain zone sizes than others. For example, a ticker widget works best across a horizontal area, such as the top or bottom of the screen. The library is where you can add images or videos you uploaded. To add a library item, select the file you want, then choose Add and Close or Add and Continue. You can also upload content or create a new folder directly from this screen. The Projects option allows you to add an existing project to the campaign. Select the project you want, then click Add at the bottom. The Designer option lets you add images or videos that were created in Designer. Once you select an item, it will be added to the selected zone. If the content was not created for the same size as the zone, it may look stretched or distorted. In that case, you may need to adjust the content settings or choose content that better matches the zone size. Each content item has its own settings. You can adjust the occurrence count, which controls how often that item appears in the playlist. For example, if your playback mode is set to random and you increase the occurrence count, that item will appear more often compared to the other content items in the same zone. You can also set the duration. For a still image, the duration controls how long the image stays on screen before moving to the next item. You can set the duration using hours, minutes, and seconds. You can also enable a schedule for an individual content item. This is helpful if you only want certain content to play on specific days or during specific times. For example, you could schedule an item to play only on Mondays. You can also set a time slot, such as a happy hour special. You could schedule that item to play from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can also add a date range. For example, if the content is for a monthly special, you can set it to play only from the first day of the month through the last day of the month. Each item also includes display settings. You can adjust how the content fits inside the zone, such as maintaining the aspect ratio, showing the full image with no cropping, or allowing the content to stretch, which may cause distortion. You can also adjust the position and change the background color if there is empty space around the content. Once your campaign is set up, you can click Preview. Preview opens the campaign in a new tab, so you can check for missing content, distorted images, empty zones, or widgets that do not display correctly. Once everything looks correct, your campaign is ready to save and use. If this is a new campaign, click Save. If you are editing an existing campaign and want the updates to go to the devices right away, click Save and Update Players. This saves the campaign and pushes the update to any online players using that campaign. That's the campaign overview. You're now ready to start creating and managing campaign content.